I will never forget when I first heard that you were cast in this role because I was flipping out. I thought it was so pitch perfect. So I was wondering, did you have the same reaction when you first read the part? Did you know that it was the right...
When you found out that you got the role, I went, that is awesome for the film because I am pitch perfect for this. No, I didn't.
You should have, though.
No.
Did you feel that connection to the character, though, when you first read her?
I went in, I read the script. I hadn't read the book when I met the director and the producer, Mike and Trevor. I fell in love. Number one, I fell in love with the script and I felt like I didn't need to change anything, which is very uncommon, not common. I felt that she was the coolest character that I had read in years. But it was more a matter of I completely wanted to be a part of the project. And also I'm such a geek when it comes to Stephen King. Like I'm such a silly fan.
Just because I have to ask, because I am a big fan of Stephen King. What is the last Stephen King book you've read?
Outsider.
I swear to God, last book I read.
Well, it's the last book I think he wrote.
It's phenomenal. And speaking of that, I was hearing that you're not a big fan of jump scares. There are some in this movie, but I think the fear comes from a very different place. So what is it about Rose and the True Knot that you find really terrifying?
I think what I wanted to portray and what I think was interesting for her was her maternal and caring aspect. And when I did all of the research, when I watched all of the serial killers' interviews and psychopaths, etc., it's the normality and the well-spokenness. It's the luring, and you look at them and you think, I would either date you or be a friend of yours, and I understand. And then you think, what happened? You know, those are the elements.
I was actually thinking a lot about what happened because even in the book, we don't learn all that much about Rose's past. So did you have to fill in any of the blanks for yourself?
Yeah, I filled in blanks. I have this incredible dialect coach who also is an acting coach, Gabby, and when you read the book, there are little hints. You have to Sherlock Holmes your way through it. Mm-hmm. So, for example, there are conversations about the gladiators in Rome, and it's, all of this. And you have to go, okay, they're mentioning there that's 650 years ago, so maybe she's 700 years ago. Ireland, meaning that the regular America before it is what it is now didn't really exist. You kind of have to link it all together.
So basically what you're saying is that we need a Rose prequel.
I completely agree with that. That is what I'm saying.
I would watch it in a heartbeat.
So 700 years ago, costume drama.
I did want to ask you, with the fear of jump scares, has any director in a scene that involves you to have that kind of quick reaction to something, has anyone ever tried to catch you off guard and jump scare you in a scene?
If they did, I would have smacked them. I have, and I don't know, we know in my family not to do it. I don't hit, obviously. But I have a reaction that I just want whatever comes to get off me. And I have very, very quick hand and eye coordination.
Different kind of reaction shot in this movie that I really wanted to ask you about. Walking into the Overlook and Rose acknowledging the elevators, because there's something very special about that, and I wonder, doing a scene like that over and over, do you know when you've nailed a reaction shot like that?
I know because Mike has a radio connected to his tent, and when he's happy, you hear cha-ching. So that was easy. But I think for me there are other levels to it because I really love The Shining, and I love the score and the combination of the score with the loneliness and the characteristic trait that is the Overlook Hotel. And so for my character to walk through those doors and be a part of it, but without any previous relations to it, was just, I wanted to do take after take after take. It wasn't good enough. It was never, ever good enough for me. And then obviously we didn't recreate all of the elements. So it was more of a mental state that I needed to go through, and Mike would kind of guide me. And Mike was God, hence why I'm doing that. Where he would go, and this is happening, and you can see this now.
Cha-ching.